What is up, everyone? So today I have the Olight M2R Warrior Pro. We're going to go over its features, its price point, and its issues, and whether or not it's a right purchase for you. So let's get into this review and see what it's all about. Okay, so before we get into the negatives and then get into the positives, let's go over, the features that it comes with. This has a throw of 300 meters, a lumen output of 1,800, and a 5-year warranty. Olight is just phenomenal for what they give you at the price point it comes in at, which is around that $100 price range. Okay, so as always, they come out with these ingenious setups, magnetic box, real nice presentation, and then basically them thanking you from their team, which is pretty nice. And then you have, everything's just well placed. That's why I do the unboxing on these, so that way you could see how everything's, appreciate it when you purchase one of these lights. So I like to give credit where credit's due, and I usually don't do unboxings, but this one was, in need of one. So basically everything is labeled out here. You do have your pull tab and stuff for your booklet and how all this stuff comes apart. I'm not really going to open this because I don't need to. It's just, I don't care about this stuff in here. But you get a lanyard, you get a charging thing, which is magnetic, and then you get your instructions, okay? Okay, so what they give you here is, of course, your sheath. You have this button set up, so that way you could clip it on your belt, okay? You have the option to slide your belt through to the back side of it, okay? Or you have the option to hang it. You have your drain holes here, so no water collects. One on top, and then you have this cover, so that way nothing kind of hangs up on your button, but you can press it to open it. And then of course you got your nice, I don't know, this is like real soft liner, and then your light, okay? They changed up the branding from the old one, the regular M2 Warrior setup. And then I have this from the original M2 Warrior. This is something I wanted to throw in to inform you, if you do have the old one and you did get one of these, is you heat it up with the heat gun, fit this in there to how you want it to fit, and then it'll work for the larger flashlight as well. So some of the accessories that it came with are these little stick-ons right here to route the cable of this pressure switch, which I'll show you right now in a little bit. And then it came with a rail mount, so that way you can mount it on a gun. So this should withstand your weapon that you put it on. It has a nylon style Picatinny rail mount here, nylon here, steel bolt. It's kind of crazy how much detail they put into this. So you got to pull out on this, right? So you can't turn it here. There's no way to turn it. It locks into place. You got to pull out and then adjust it. And then it comes and opens up. And that knurling here that I can't turn, it grips with some teeth that are recessed into this plastic here, which is really cool because once you got it hunkered down, at least you don't have to worry about it coming loose. And then you have instructions here, which I should have read in the first place. I haven't mounted this, so it's all kind of new. You have, you're gonna have to take this out in order to slide the light in there, because as it clamps down on your Picatinny rail, it's also gonna draw this inward, clamping down on your flashlight. So it's like a all-in-one motion setup here, okay? So that came with it, and then you have your pressure switch, which is kind of like the, Surefire setup. It slides into your Picatinny rail. You have your pressure switch here. You could pop this out, and then you have a magnetic base, which is awesome because if you ever decide you want to put this on your weapon, and you're going through brush or something and it gets snagged, it'll pull straight off. So you don't have to worry about it, you know, ripping your wire out or jerking your gun. It'll release, you know, and it's real easy to flick it back up. This is a real strong magnet and a positive connection, no doubt about it. Okay, so as you can see, you could push it, turn it on and off, and then on the back side of the button, you have also the on and off option. If you hold it down and then release, it turns it on momentary. If you click it once, it locks it on permanently. Okay, that larger battery that it comes with, this thing here, is a lot better than your traditional 18650s, and I'll compare the two so that way you get a girth comparison. Okay, so as you can see, it's pretty substantial as far as size. The light has, you know, it's just like the M2R. So if you know what that feels like, that's what this is exactly like. It's a little bit thicker, it feels like heavier due to the larger battery. Okay, you have this steel cap here, which the original M2R did, but it did not have these little standoffs here. Okay, so that's something new. I like this one better because it's protruded out but still flush because of these detents, so you can't damage that. You know, if you set it down, it takes a blow on those detents, but it allows you to push the button a lot easier. Okay, one thing to know about this light is, yeah, it puts out 1800 lumens, but it's not a white light. As you can see, it's like a warm light. I asked them if I could change the LED, and they told me that you can't change the LED because the LED is the same as the M2R, the standard one. The difference is how they program it. So it's a chipset that tells it the warm light to put out the warm light instead of the white light. It's weird. So that's what they told me directly. You have these serrations on the bezel, you know, for impact purposes. I like it a lot better, this design versus the old design, because the black, it looks a lot better, cleaner. You have the black clip. Of course, it's, you know, multi-purpose. You could put it on your hat, or you could clip it on your belt. You know, you could also clip it into your pocket, you know, bezel up or bezel down without having to unclip this and moving it from one end to another, which is nice. Let's cycle through the modes. So as you turn it on, you hold it down, it turns on. Okay, you click it again, it goes into the next mode. You click it again, it turns off. So you got to kind of cycle these things all together. So you press it and hold it, press it and hold it, and it'll cycle through the modes. I'll show you that in the dark. Okay, and then you have your turbo, which is on the back button. Of course, you click it and it's momentary. You click it and let go, like hard press, and then so hard press and let go, and it stays on. Momentary press, you depress it down and let go, just like the pressure switch. You got to hold it for a little bit, and it knows that, hey, you're going to do this for momentary. So okay, so we'll cycle through some of the modes real quick. So this is let's go through them. So this is low, next one, next one, next one, and then back to low. As you can see, you got some spill here, and then a real nice concentrated hotspot. The next one, same thing, it just intensifies. The spill isn't going to increase in size, it's just going to intensify. Same thing with the hotspot. Okay, and then you have your turbo mode. That's momentary. If I hold it and then let go, it knows it's momentary. If I click it once, it'll stay on, and that's turbo. So this does have a memory. This flashlight has a memory set up where if I click it, and say this is on high and I turn it on low. So if I leave it on low or moonlight, turn it off, click it once, turns off. I click it again to turn it on and it's back on moonlight. If I hold it down, it'll allow me to cycle through the modes again. I went to high, I'll turn it off, turn it back on, and it's back to high. Now for my biggest complaint about this light. You know, if you know the M2R Warrior, the original one, it was a great light. And it didn't have this problem. So as we take this out, as you can see, it says negative on the tail cap, okay? And you have this big old negative rear cap. On the front side, it's a little different. If you look down in there, okay, you see that brass ring, that copper ring? That's a negative as well. And then in the center is your positive, okay? If you look closely here, you got your negative ring, you got an isolator here made out of plastic, and then you got your positive in the center. The issue with this is your standard button cell batteries will not work. Also, your flat cell batteries will not work, okay? So if I were to put this, say this one was the same battery as this, it was a 21700 battery, right? You know, it's an 18650, but say it was a 21700 battery. This will not work because this is not a ground. It's an isolator, okay? You see that this one's metal. So it would not allow you to actually use that inside your flashlight, okay? On top of that, flat tops will not work in your flashlight. This top is too big. It doesn't allow it to seat in that recessed area. That's why you get this button top, because it allows it to sink into there, and it does not allow, you know, your flat tops. Also, length is an issue, okay? Because I was going to use a magnet on the rear end to extend it so it worked, but since it requires another ground on the outside ring, it did not allow this flashlight to run at all. At first I thought it was the magnet on the butt end, but it's not, okay? So they're forcing you to buy their batteries, which is a con in my opinion, because if they decided that they no longer want to keep these batteries, well, guess what? Your light won't work. Also, when purchasing these, you got to make sure you get the right one, because I think they have the baton or something like that runs something similar, but it doesn't have the same grounding as this light. I could be wrong. You know, just do your research and make sure that you get the one that's correct or period correct for this flashlight. If you want to see the actual output of this light, definitely stay tuned for those future videos where I'm going to actually use it outdoors while I'm camping, because I get the distance that I need to illuminate these things. So stay tuned for those videos. But, you know, bottom line, would I recommend this? Yes, I would. Without a doubt, I'd recommend it. I just recommend you stocking up on a few of these batteries. Remember, since this is a larger battery, you only have to buy a few, versus the 18650 version where you got to buy almost double, because this supplies a lot more to your flashlight. So you got a lot longer run times, fewer batteries to keep track of, and fewer times you have to change it. But if you don't want these proprietary batteries, and you have, like for instance, my Sage X lantern has the 18650s, it's smarter just to get these, because now I could use it in multiple lights and multiple occasions, and go that way. So that's going to complete today's video. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. If you want to see content like this and other content I'll be posting in the near future, definitely consider subscribing. Until next time, I'll see y'all in the next one.